Hello and welcome back to Viper Bites and our continued coverage of the NFL Draft and our Prospect Profile series. And this time we're talking about a little-known wide receiver out of South Alabama, and that is Jalen Tolbert. Now, before we get into this, take a second, rate and review us on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever podcasting platform that you're listening to us on right now. And if you're watching us on the Vipers YouTube channel, make sure to take a second, thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure those notifications are turned on. Now, let's talk about Jalen Tolbert and what he had done in high school. Now, not many have heard the name Jalen Tolbert prior to the last few weeks. And you know what? That's a shame. Shame on you. You know what? Shame on me for not bringing him out to you a little bit sooner. I get it, though. South Alabama, not a household name. 37 receptions, 696 yards as a senior coming out of high school. That number, those don't exactly pop at you. It doesn't exactly draw the attention of the scouting world. Heck, how often do we talk about two-star type prospects? And by the way, there are some pretty good NFL players that have been two-star or less prospects. So keep that in mind right now. Now, when we talk about his measurables, his size, 6'1", 194 pounds. RAS score, 8.59. So you know he's got some athleticism in him. 40-yard dash, 4.49 seconds. Vertical, 36 inches. Broad jump, 123 inches. Now his three cone, 7.08. Okay, what's that all mean? How does that all add up? Can you put that into a metric for me? Yes, I can. Over at Player Profile, they talk about his speed score. 57th percentile, 95.4. We talk about a burst score that comes in the 58th percentile, 122.7. Again, not numbers that jump out at you, but what does jump out at me is domination. College dominator, 51.2%. Yes, quality of competition a little bit down, but hey, he stepped up when he needed to step up. That is in the 96th percentile. Yards per reception, that comes in the 69th percentile at 16.1. And when you want to talk college share, I mean, when you are the only guy to throw the ball to, your college target share is going to come up looking pretty good. 33.4%. That is in the 96th percentile. Breakout age, 20.5, 48th percentile. So now let's talk about Jalen Tolbert and how that career got kicking. How has his path to the NFL been forged? Well, it didn't get off to a great start, and let me tell you why. In 2017, he was injured in the opening scrimmage in preseason camp, forcing him to miss the entire season. And in 2018, not much to talk about here either. He only had about 5 receptions for like 6 yards or something like that, or 60 yards. Again, not worth really mentioning at this point. But in 2019, he would start to make a little bit of noise. 19.3 yards per reception. He had 27 receptions for 521 yards while seeing a 23% target share and 6 touchdowns. Now, the game you probably took notice of him was a 5-catch, 144-yard, 4-touchdown performance on senior day against Arkansas State. By the way, if there are Arkansas State-type teams in the National Football League, look out because you're in trouble because, hey, this wasn't just a one-time thing to Arkansas State. Now, in 2020, those targets, those receptions, everything's seen a significant boost, recording 64 receptions on 114 targets. He commanded a 32.5% target share along with 8 touchdowns. He set school records with 64 receptions, 1,085 receiving yards, which would be the first time in South Alabama history that a receiver ever had a 1,000-yard season. Tolbert, he would go on to be voted first team All Sun Belt Conference and was the first team all-league selection by Pro Football Focus. Now, poor Arkansas State, I mentioned this earlier, he got him again in 2020. Look at this, 10 catches, 252 yards, 3 more touchdowns. He finished the season making big plays all over the place, finishing with 6 scoring and 20 total plays of 20 or more yards. Now, in 2021, we even seen more an improvement. There's a reason why his name is on a lot of scouts' boards, a lot of teams' boards right now. He would go on to record 140 or more receiving yards in 6 of 12 games, including 191 against Coastal Carolina and 143 against Tennessee, while averaging almost 7 receptions and 123 yards per contest. Now, Tolbert, he would finish the season with 82 receptions on 136 targets for 1,474 yards, along with 8 touchdowns, amassing a 33.42% target share. His yards per reception from 2019 was 19.3. 2020, it was at 17. 2021, 18. Jalen Tolbert has 77 receptions of 15 or more yards since 2019, which is the most by any receiver in the FBS. Now, when we talk about strengths here, you have to start off with 7 100-yard games in 2021. He runs very smooth routes. He sinks his hips. He makes quick cuts, and he tracks the ball extremely well when it's in the air. Now, when you talk about weaknesses, obviously the small school comes into play, but hey, competition in college, not a big deal. He saved his best in those big games. I mentioned Coastal Carolina, that 191 yards. We talked about Tennessee, that 143 yards. 10 catches against Coastal, 7 catches against Tennessee. Tennessee and Coastal Carolina were both good quality teams. They knew that Jalen Tolbert was how the drink gets stirred in South Alabama, and they did nothing about it. Now, the one thing that does nip Jalen Tolbert a little bit in the butt here is he does struggle with some bad drops from time to time. Again, probably more likely a focus thing that definitely coaches can work on with him. Now, when you want to work on things, hey, we got our own set of coaches here over at Fantasy Points. Head over there right now. They got the 2022 NFL Prospect Guide and they got 200 plus profiles, courtesy of NFL Films, Greg Cassell. You got Wes Huber there, who knows a thing or two when it comes to rankings and Debbie and rookies and all that fun stuff. Plus, you get film analysis, strengths, weaknesses, NFL transitions, measurables, combine results, mock drafts, and of course, those rankings that I mentioned. And hey, who else do you want to get information from? You get Cassell, you get Huber, you get Dolan, you get Barrett, you get Barfield, you get Hansen. This is what Fantasy Points is made of. If you want more of that, head over there, fantasypoints.com right now. Use promo code Vipers22 and get 10% off your subscription today. Now let's get back to Jalen Tolbert because I love this dude. He's one of my guys. I fall in love with prospects every year. I've been in love with Tolbert for 2 seasons now. South Alabama's offense, it earned a modest 5.5 yards per play when they went away from Tolbert. When they went to Tolbert, that yards per play, that jumped up to 10.9. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner here. Now, Tolbert, he saved his best against the best competition each and every year in his college career. If you are in a small school, you better dominate, and that is exactly what he has done. Arkansas State, hey, they're not going to miss you. They're happy he is gone. They're happy he is no longer catching passes in South Alabama. I don't think we've touched on how much potential Tolbert truly has. His route running is exceptional. He tracks the ball as well as any receiver in this draft, and he has a combative nature about it when that ball is in the air. That is his ball, and when he gets in his hands, it ain't coming out. And now, speaking of good hands, with the Vipers Network, you are certainly in good hands. When news breaks, hey, trades are going down, signings are happening. We are here to break it all down for you and put a nice little bow on it here. And we've got plenty of content coming your way, so make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you got those notifications on because you're not going to miss what's coming at you next. See you next time.